Okay, this is a second video for the Acer Aspire 5920 screen flicker problem. I've had quite a few messages now asking me to sort out or talk about the actual screen, the cable at the back. We sorted out, as you remember, the cable problem, which is just behind there, which keeps dislodging. So we put a bit of kitchen towel in there. I'm sure you probably had a look at the previous video. So what I'm going to do now is show you how to take the screen surround off, take the back cover off, and have a look at the connection for the LCD cable at the back of the screen. Okay, so the first thing you do is you remove the 6 screws around the screen surround, and that will release then this grey cover. So let's go back again. That's the rubber cap removed there, so that exposes the screw there. So you take that one out there. There's another one there. There's one beneath the plastic cover there. Another one there. Another one there. And finally another one just there. Okay, so I've removed all the plastic caps now to expose the screws. You can see where I've put them back on, the rubber caps back on after taking the domes off and the caps off recently, because there's actually glue on most of them. So I'll take those out now. Okay, taking the screws out, just obviously keep them in a safe place. They're all identical screws, so don't worry about mixing them up. And you just literally pull the screen surround off. Difficult to do it with one hand. Should just unclip quite nicely. You might have to give it a bit of a wiggle to get the bottom off. There we go. Okay, screen surround off. You can see there where we did the previous repair to sort out the LCD cable to stop the flickering. Bit of kitchen towel just in there. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to remove a couple of these screws down here on either of the hinges to allow the back casing to come away, the black casing at the back there, so we can get to the LCD cable at the back of the screen, which is positioned in this area just behind the screen. I'll do that and then come straight back. Okay, so the cover now off. You can see that the back has dropped away from the screen. It was literally just 1, 2, 3 screws there, and 1, 2, 3 screws there. They're the inner screws, by the way. So you can see the 4 holes there. They're the inner. That 1, 2, 3. That's where the screws came from. Remember that for when you put it back together, because you don't want the fourth putting one of the screws in the wrong holes. Okay, so now we're going to move round to the back of the screen. I'm going to have a look at the back of the LCD cable there. Nicely lit up. You can see where I've untaped it in the past. I've just used a bit of black box standard electrical installation tape to retape the LCD screen back into position. So take off the silver tape that's there, take that socket out very, very gently and tease it back in, pop it back into position, make sure it's secure. I retaped it, as I said, with black insulation tape, just the regular stuff that you can get from B&Q or any DIY shop. And just make sure that there's a bit of tension. There isn't any tension in this section here, so it doesn't pull when the screen comes back and forth, and that should do the trick. Okay, there's the inverter there. Make sure that clip there, the plug and the socket are secure, and the same at that end, and that should do the trick. There's the webcam there. Again, that runs off the same cable as the LCD cable. It just sort of joins there at the base. If there's any problems with the webcam flicker or what have you, then it's likely to do with that. So have a tinker. Obviously, you know, I can't be held responsible if you damage your own computer. Right, so you've done this with the LCD cable. Now all you have to do is put the screws back in place. All the screws are the same, so you don't have to worry about mixing them up. Just make sure that you keep them all together and you don't lose any. Right, I'll be back in 2 minutes once I put the screws in. Okay, 3 screws are back in at either hinge. Just there, there, and there. Sorry about the focus there. Leave the 4th hole free, because that's going to be a hole for when you put the screw, when you put the surround back on. So 3 there, and then 3 there, 3 inner ones, 1, 2, 3. Okay, I've just clipped the surround back on. It clips in nice and easily around the sides. Make sure there's 2 little bits of protruding plastic at the bottom face there. Make sure that they sit nicely underneath the screen, and then the rest of it should go in nice and easily. The only thing now is to put the screws back on in the 6 holes there. Okay, screws back in. There's the cap. Screws back in. The only thing now is to stick the plastic covers back on. I just use a bit of Pritt stick just to put a blob on each one, and then just pop them back in place, and that does the trick. Okay, so that's it. LCD cable at the back of the screen should be fixed.